Welcome to Augmented Voices, the show that takes you to the cutting edge of AI and how it's teaming up with humans to change the world.
It seems like every day.
And we've got a wild ride for you today, folks.
Yeah.
Stories that sound like they're ripped from the pages of science fiction, but trust me, this is all real.
Oh, it is.
And happening right now.
Yeah.
We're talking AI that can actually sense your emotions. The EU's ambitious play to build its own AI powerhouse and get this roads that can heal themselves.
Self-healing roads, that's right.
So buckle up and let's dive right in. Let's kick things off with something I think we've all experienced, the joys of customer service.
Oh, the joys.
You know those moments where you're on hold forever or you're explaining your issue for the 100th time
And you feel like you're talking to a robot?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what if AI could actually change that?
Well,
What if you had a customer service agent that could actually sense your frustration or your excitement and respond accordingly?
that would be something, wouldn't it?
Well, that's the promise of Polona, a new AI platform designed to give customer service bots emotional intelligence.
So it's not just about understanding the words you're saying.
Right.
It's about picking up on those subtle cues in your voice or even your text messages to figure out how you're feeling.
So how does this actually work? Is it analyzing like the tone of my voice or...
Exactly. It analyzes your vocal cues, things like pitch volume, even pauses in your speech.
Wow.
And it can even analyze text messages to detect things like sentiment and emotional keywords.
So it's really trying to get a full picture of your emotional state
It is.
and then use that information to tailor its responses.
Exactly. So imagine you're calling customer service and you're already frustrated because your internet's been down all day.
Oh, been there.
Polona would be able to detect that frustration
Okay.
and respond in a more empathetic and understanding way.
It might even offer you like a discount or something to make up for the inconvenience.
Maybe even a free month.
Right. So
Yeah.
instead of getting more and more annoyed,
You might actually feel heard and understood.
yeah, I'm already intrigued, but is this really true emotional intelligence or is it just clever programming?
That's a great question, and there's definitely a debate about whether AI can truly understand emotions the way humans do. But even if it's not true emotional intelligence,
Why?
Polona is still a powerful tool that could dramatically improve the customer experience.
Okay, but let's flip the script for a second.
Okay.
What about the potential for misuse? Could companies use this technology to manipulate customers or take advantage of their emotions?
That's a valid concern, and it's why ethical considerations are so important when we're talking about any kind of AI development.
Right.
Companies need to be transparent about how they're using this technology. Customers should have control over how their data is being used.
It's a delicate balance, isn't it, between innovation and responsibility?
It is.
Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about another major development in the AI world.
Okay.
The EU's ambitious plan to build its own AI to rival the giants in the US.
This is a big one.
They're calling it Open Neural LM, and they're investing a hefty sum of money in it, 56 million to be exact.
Wow, that's a lot of euros.
So what's the motivation behind this? Why is the EU so determined to create its own AI powerhouse?
Well, it's all about AI sovereignty. The EU wants to have more control over the development and deployment of AI within Europe.
So they're not just trying to catch up.
No, they're trying to set their own course.
Okay, so they want to create an AI that aligns with their values and their regulations.
Exactly. Things like data privacy, transparency, and ethical considerations are really important to the EU.
And they want to make sure that their AI reflects those values.
Absolutely.
But let's be realistic here. Can Open Neural LM really compete with the giants like ChatGPT and Google's Gemini? They've got billions of dollars behind them.
It's definitely a David and Goliath situation.
Right.
But the EU is betting on a different approach. They're making Open Neural LM open source.
Okay, so what does that mean exactly?
It means they're inviting researchers and developers from all over Europe to contribute to the project.
So they're creating a kind of collaborative ecosystem.
Exactly. And that could be a huge advantage. It could lead to more innovation, more diversity of thought, and potentially even a more ethical approach to AI development.
So it's almost like a community effort to build an AI that represents the values of the entire European community.
Exactly.
I'm really curious to see how this all plays out. It seems like we're witnessing a major shift in the AI landscape,
Absolutely.
with different regions and even different philosophies vying for dominance.
It's a fascinating time to be following this field.
And speaking of fascinating developments, let's talk about something that could revolutionize the way we interact with technology: voice AI.
Voice AI is already a big part of our lives.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's about to get a whole lot bigger and better.
Okay, I'm all ears. Tell me more.
Well, get this. A massive dataset for voice AI has just been released, and it's completely open source. We're talking over 1 million hours of audio in 89 languages.
1 million hours in 89 languages. Wow, that's mind-blowing.
It is.
Okay, break that down for me. What does this mean for the average person? How will this data set actually impact our lives?
Well, think about all the ways we use voice technology today.
Mm-hmm.
Voice assistants, dictation software, translation apps.
Right.
This data set has the potential to make all of those technologies more accurate, more inclusive, and more accessible to people around the world.
So imagine a world where you can speak to your voice assistant in any language, and it understands you perfectly.
Exactly.
Or where translation tools are so precise that language barriers practically disappear.
And for people with disabilities, voice AI could be a game changer.
How so?
Imagine being able to control your devices with your voice, even if you have limited mobility.
Wow, the possibilities are really endless.
They are. This dataset is a huge step towards making voice AI truly universal.
But with any major technological advancement, there are always potential downsides.
Of course.
What about things like data bias and privacy concerns?
Those are definitely important considerations. The organizations hosting and distributing this dataset need to have robust security measures in place.
Right.
And they need to be transparent about how the data is being used.
So it's all about responsible development and deployment.
Exactly.
And I've saved the most mind-boggling story for last. Are you ready for this?
Hit me with it.
Self-healing roads.
Self-healing roads? You're kidding.
Dead serious. Roads that can actually detect and repair cracks before they even turn into potholes.
How is that even possible?
Well, researchers have developed a special type of asphalt that's infused with these tiny capsules of a rejuvenating agent.
Okay.
And when a crack forms, these capsules release the agent, which helps to seal the crack and prevent it from spreading.
So the road is basically healing itself from the inside out.
Exactly. And to make things even cooler, they're incorporating sensors and AI algorithms that can monitor the condition of the road in real time.
So it's not just about reacting to damage, it's about predicting and preventing it.
Precisely. Imagine the impact this could have. No more jarring potholes, no more endless road closures for repairs.
And potentially even safer roads.
Right, because those potholes can be dangerous.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's not just about safety and convenience. Self-healing roads could also be more sustainable.
How so?
Well, by extending the lifespan of roads, we can reduce the need for frequent resurfacing, which uses a lot of energy and resources.
That makes sense. So it's a win-win situation.
It sounds almost too good to be true.
It does, doesn't it? But this technology is actually being developed and tested right now.
Wow, this is seriously blowing my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, think about the implications. No more potholes.
Imagine that smooth sailing all the way.
Fewer road closures for repairs.
Less traffic congestion.
And potentially even safer roads. Because, let's be honest, those potholes can be dangerous.
Oh, absolutely. They can cause accidents, damage to vehicles.
So this technology, it's not just about convenience.
It's about safety. It's about efficiency.
And it's even about sustainability.
By extending the lifespan of roads, we can reduce the need for frequent resurfacing.
Which uses a lot of energy and resources.
Not to mention the environmental impact of all those construction materials.
So we're talking about safer, more efficient, and more sustainable roads.
Pretty amazing, huh?
It sounds almost too good to be true.
I know, but it's not. It's really happening.
Okay, so when can I expect to be cruising down a self-healing highway?
Well, the technology is still relatively new. There's a lot of testing and refining that needs to happen.
Right.
But I think it's safe to say that we'll start seeing self-healing roads popping up in cities and towns around the world in the next few years.
I can't wait. I'm already picturing a no more swerving to avoid those pesky potholes.
Smooth rides for everyone.
Speaking of smooth transitions, let's shift gears again and circle back to something we touched on earlier.
Okay.
AI sovereignty.
Ah, yes. The EU's bold move to build its own AI powerhouse.
Exactly. What do you think of the long-term implications of this? Could it spark a global AI race?
Well, it's definitely a possibility. We're already seeing a lot of competition in the AI field.
Between countries, between companies.
It's a high-stakes game with a lot of players.
So it's not just about building the most advanced AI.
No, it's also about who controls the technology and how it's used.
And the EU's approach with OpenURLM is interesting because they're emphasizing collaboration and open source development.
It's a different model than what we've seen from some of the big tech companies.
Which tend to be more secretive and proprietary.
Right. And it'll be fascinating to see which approach ultimately proves to be more successful.
It raises some really big questions about the future of AI governance, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Questions about ethics, about transparency, about who gets to benefit from this technology.
And these are questions that we as a society need to be thinking about right now.
Because AI is going to have a profound impact on our lives.
On everything from our jobs to our relationships to our very understanding of what it means to be human.
So we need to be having these conversations now before it's too late. We need to be thinking about the implications of AI now.
Absolutely. It's a conversation that we can't afford to ignore.
And it's a conversation that needs to involve everyone, not just the tech experts.
Right, because AI is going to impact all of us.
It already is in ways that we might not even realize.
Are we heading towards a utopia where AI solves all our problems?
Or are we sleepwalking into a dystopian future where machines take over?
I don't think anyone has the answer to that question.
But I do think it's a question that we all need to be asking ourselves.
Because the future of AI is not something that's predetermined.
It's something that we are shaping right now with every choice we make.
So let's choose wisely. Let's use this incredible technology to create a future that benefits all of humanity.
A future where AI and humans work together to build a better world.
That's a great message to end on. Thank you so much for joining us on Augmented Voices and for sharing your insights on this fascinating and ever-evolving world of AI.
It's been a pleasure. And remember, the future is in our hands.
Until next time, keep exploring, stay curious, and let's keep the conversation going.